Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening process. And today I'm going to share with you some signs that you are in a channeling state and connected to your higher self, your higher consciousness. There is a bridge, and you can translate that higher frequency energy and passion and creativity into the physical. Someone in my online coaching group yesterday asked me, like, how do you know? And it was during one of my live weekly Q&As, and I didn't have, it sort of warrants a longer discussion. So I imagine that might be on a lot of people's minds, and it's important for me to help others recognize this state, because when you're in that state, which does tend to come and go for most of us, it's wise to take advantage and live your life, make decisions, and create from that channeling state. So this video is going to help you recognize when you're connected. And some of the signs are somewhat subtle, and many of you get like this and just don't know it. Before I get into that, let me just let you know, if you're new to my channel, I want to say what's up to you. Welcome. It's good to have you. I have a free meditation I offer everybody. It's a guided meditation that I made myself. It helps you raise your frequency and sort of get into that state of being we were just talking about. Again, it's free. Check it out down below in the description box if you'd like. And otherwise, I will get into the video. Number one is a strong desire to create and to produce something associated with this state of being. And I'll give it, that sounds kind of vague. I'll give it an example I think you guys can probably dig. So I was up just last night trying to come up with video ideas for my YouTube channel, and I was not having any luck. In fact, I spent about 45 minutes and I was getting more and more, the likelihood of me tapping into my channeling state was just becoming more, it was just not going well. So I finally took a breath, started reading one of my books, and then all of a sudden I got this seed of an inspiration. I thought I'd make a video about not being able to tap in. and then the ideas started to flow. I started flowing. I got 3 awesome video ideas right off the bat. And it came. I tapped into that state, and it felt great. And then it was time to go to bed. It was getting kind of late. And I kept going to sleep, and I'd wake up. I wouldn't wake up. I wasn't quite asleep yet, but I'd have a thought and I'd have to wake up, turn the lights on, add a little note to my notepad, and I'd go back and I'd try to go to sleep. And anyway, I was in that state, even though it was time to go to bed, and it was very hard for me to turn it off, because it feels so good to be in that. And there's almost like a compulsion or a need to express what's there. It won't leave you alone. So when you're in this state, you'll find it very difficult to do much else than to create and do from that state. You'll need to produce and express it somehow. Number 2, what you do create will be high quality. It'll even impress you. Even your inner critic and skeptic will say, damn, not bad, Vic, not bad, not pretty impressive. Because it's coming from a higher place. You are connected to your higher self during this state of being, and what you produce is not really limited to your mortal brief little stint here on the planet Earth. It's coming from the wisdom and depths of your soul, which is vast and very, very, very old. So what you do, write, paint, say, produce, compose, whatever, it's going to be good. It's going to be very impressive to you. And there's a very obvious contrast. When I was trying to come up with those, going back to my analogy, when I was trying to come up with video ideas, from a cerebral perspective, I was having some semblance of what you would say, this could be a video format, Vic, but it was garbage. It was not good. It was again limited to Victor's limited time on Earth and just my own mind sort of rendering, rather than when I tapped in 20 minutes later, what was coming through was wow, this is gonna be very powerful and impactful, and I feel even inspired by it myself. Where did it come from? Number 3 is you'll find that time just flies by. People say that, but it's something we can experience, where time does seem to go faster. There's just not enough time in the day. Again, once I tapped in and was doing my stuff, it felt like in the blink of an eye it was bedtime, and I didn't want to go to bed. I was just wanting to do it. And I've experienced this before. I'm experiencing it right now. I've shot a bunch of videos in a row, and I really have no concept of what time it is. In fact, a moment ago I was thinking, as I read my bullet point to mention time flies by, I thought to myself, I wonder what time it is. I have no idea, and I don't care, because I'm in the moment. You're in the moment when you are channeling, and it feels wonderful, and you just don't think of time. You don't care about it, and therefore it's just not registering the same way. You're not logging it mentally. You just lose track of time. Number 4, and this improves in time to a degree, but for a while it can tire you out. Like I would have this a lot, where I would literally shoot like 1.5, maybe 1 or 2 YouTube videos, and I would almost need to recover all day because I was in that state during, and that energy is kind of taxing to the physical body. But as you keep doing it more and more and more, you build up, I would say, a sort of a tolerance for it. But even as I mentioned, this fatigue, so basically I've been sitting here for about 45 minutes talking to the camera. It's early in the morning. I got a pretty good night's sleep. I felt really good, and now I feel kind of tired. You know, I've had jobs. I had a job as a valet attendant where I literally ran and sprinted, or we had to sprint to cars, otherwise we wouldn't get tips. In the dead of summer, in Boca Raton in South Florida, all day sprinting. I rode a bike everywhere. I didn't have a car. I rode my bike to and from work. When I got home, I'd ride my bike to the gym. I was all over the place, and I didn't get tired to the degree I get tired now sitting on this rock in nature talking to my phone. So if you feel tired after, that's okay. That means you were like really tapped in. When this happens from time to time, when you enter the channeling state or the flow state, more and more, what almost is easier to detect is when you're not in it. Like last night, when I was trying to come up with videos, it was so obvious that I like knew my efforts were going to be fruitless. I could tell, even though I was trying to kind of force it, and I had like a couple of video ideas sketched out and some bullet points, the way I normally do it. It was like, ugh. It was hard not to get frustrated, because I know that I'm not gonna use this. But I had these deadlines. I wanted to come up. I'm going to San Diego today, and I wanted to shoot a few videos. So I was like, dude, you gotta get some videos done, man. But it was just so blatantly obvious, because it's basically, when you're not in it, it's the opposite. You don't feel like what you're doing is inspired. You feel like it's almost like you're an engineer, just sort of trying to, from a very cerebral, mental aspect, trying to do something. But art or creation or music or whatever people typically do from this creative channeling space, it doesn't come. It doesn't come from our mind and our limited experience. It comes from something else, something deep within us, our higher self. And when you're not operating from that point of view, and you have in the past, it's just blatantly obvious. Number 6 is there is an abundance of energy. You feel energized. Like last night, it was hard to sleep. It commonly is. That's why I don't always anymore do my YouTube video ideas so close to bedtime, because sometimes I lapse into this state, this vibrational state, and then I don't sleep. I just sit there and think of ideas all night and write them down, and that's fine and dandy, but it might be wiser for me to do that in the morning or something. But you have a lot of physical energy, like you probably see in my YouTube videos, how like I'm kind of animated. It'd be very hard for me to just sit still like this and speak to you. Right now I'm doing it, and it's like I gotta move, I gotta use my hands, I gotta kind of do all this, because I have a lot of energy when I make these videos. Lastly, all of the beautiful work you create, whatever it is, even if you're just sit there and like reorganizing the cupboards, and you're a housewife or a mom, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do is gonna not only be extremely high quality and impressive even to you, but it's gonna be easy. It's not like, oh, I really had to really think hard and critically to come up with these video ideas. It was more like just translating. Like I just have a feeling and a knowing of write this down, write this down, write this down. And at the end of it, I go, whoa, those are all good. That's gonna do well. Dang, that's awesome. It's easy. You're not thinking and coming up with, you're translating as best you possibly can. That's what's nice about the channeling state, is it's It comes from a different part of you, and all you gotta do is write it down or verbalize it or take the simple practical action that you're gonna be inspired to do so anyways. And it's a beautiful feeling and experience of connectedness, and every single one of you, whether you've had this happen or not, can do this. You probably already are. And the more you can recognize it, the more you can get deeper into this state. The more frequently you can get into this state, the more you can start designing your life from this channeling state. And when you do, you can become the master creator of your life. Your life will become a masterpiece. Anyways, my friends, I just wanted to kind of share that with you. I hope you got some benefit from this video. I hope you're all doing very well. And it's a blessing to be able to be speaking to so many cool cats like you. And I just want to say I appreciate all your positive feedback and your comments and your love and your emails and Facebook and Instagram posts and messages. It really means the world to me. You guys rock. Have an amazing day. Peace.